All right, people, back in from the break. Hottest form in the streets. When you look at Alabama football news, notes, and information, in my own words, the podcast, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. We got Justin Smith live on the phone lines, the In My Own Words hotline right now. The lead scouting and recruiting analyst for Touchdown Alabama Magazine, prepared to give us a huge update on what's going on the recruiting front. Justin, what's going on, man?
Going pretty good, Steven. How about you?
Doing just fine, Justin. Well, this week, major week here in college football. It's Alabama, LSU. College football game day will be in the building. SEC Nation will be here. Also, the 45th president of these United States of America, Donald Trump, will be in the midst as well. But what you do, Justin, you are big on recruiting. You are the boots on the ground. You are traveling to these games. You are building a relationship with these young athletes. What is the scoop? What is going on this week in recruiting in terms of official visits, in terms of guys coming down to take in the Alabama-LSU matchup?
This is a huge recruiting weekend for Alabama, Stephen. Possibly one of the biggest weekends that I have the privilege of covering for Touchdown Alabama Magazine on the recruiting trail. I know that Alabama is hosting a total of 6 official visitors. Those are including guys like 5-star defensive end Jordan Burch, who released his top 5 recently. They will also host 5-star tight end Darnell Washington out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Jace McClellan, a 4-star running back who is currently verbally committed to Oklahoma. They will host a 4-star defensive back Joel Williams out of Louisiana, and a 4-star wide receiver Arian Smith, who's a huge Alabama target in the 2020 recruiting class. And another big thing that is happening on the recruiting trail for Alabama on Saturday is the fact that they will host most of their 2020 recruiting class. I think they're only going to be missing about 3 guys. So most of their 2020 class will be there for the first time, including the Tide's 5-star quarterback commit Bryce Young. So it's a huge list of visitors for Alabama this weekend, and a large number of unofficial visitors. There are going to be some key visitors this weekend as well.
We are live, ladies and gentlemen, with Justin Smith, the lead scouting and recruiting analyst for Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Now, Justin, is this also the week that, because I remember you talking about with us a few shows ago that Raheem Jarrett could potentially be down in Tuscaloosa, the young man wide receiver that was committed, or that is an LSU commitment. Could we be looking at Raheem Jarrett and also Derrick Gilbert, the tight end that made the move to give LSU his verbal? Could we be looking at those two as well, or are those two not on the slate in terms of this week, Raheem Jarrett and Derrick Gilbert?
Well, those two are not on the slate as of yet. I know that Jarrett has announced that he is not coming. Gilbert will most likely not come. He hasn't announced that he would or wouldn't, but I don't think Alabama is going to get those guys on campus. I think that is something that is interesting about Gilbert's commitment to LSU is the fact that his teammate, 4-star defensive end B.J. Ojulari, flipped his commitment from Tennessee to LSU a couple weeks back, and I think that really shows that Gilbert is locked in with the Tigers in my mind. I think he had something to do with B.J. Ojulari flipping his commitment to LSU, so I think that Gilbert is locked in with the Tigers at the moment. I know that Raheem Jarrett's eyes will be on that particular game. I think he really respects Alabama. He has former teammates on the team, and Keelan Robinson and also Terrell Lewis, who is one of the veteran guys when it comes to St. John's High School. So I think those particular guys are really going to recruit him. Also, Alabama's 4-star linebacker, Shane Lee, who was a 4-star when he was doing recruiting. He has also had some St. John's ties as he played for them before he played for St. Francis. So Raheem Jarrett is going to continue to be recruited by those guys. So that's how I feel about as far as Jarrett and Gilbert possibly visiting Alabama this weekend.
Folks, if you're just now tuning in to the show, we got Justin Smith, the lead scouting and recruiting analyst for Touchdown Alabama magazine, on the line here for a couple of minutes. Justin, you brought up Bryce Young, 5-star according to the Touchdown Alabama magazine recruiting list on the side. He's also one of the guys that's been given a diamond grade for that recruitment as well. What are you looking forward to seeing as he makes his official visit or his visit for this matchup? What are you anticipating with the arrival of Bryce Young for this game?
I think Bryce Young coming to this game is huge for Alabama because I think he is going to put on his recruiting hat. I think having a 5-star quarterback committed in your particular recruiting class is huge for Alabama and any school that has a 5-star quarterback committed. Alabama will also host a trio of 4-star wide receiver commits, so I think that Young is going to get a chance to interact with those guys and hopefully start a connection with those 3 guys in Javon Baker, Trayshawn Holden, and Thaiu Jones-Bell. But I know he's also going to recruit guys like Arian Smith, who is taking his official visit to Alabama this weekend. I think he's going to really try to connect with those wide receiver, tight end targets. All of those offensive guys that are going to be at Alabama on this weekend, guys who are targets. I think Bryce Young is going to put on his recruiting hat and try to step in and hopefully try to flip those guys and hopefully try to pull those guys closer to making a decision to commit to Alabama in the future.
Last thing here from our end, Justin, or from my end, in terms of recruiting, is there a current player on the team right now that has really, I guess, taken that leeway in making sure that the 2020 guys that will be coming in this weekend have a great time? I mean, have you been told, have people have shared with you on, who could be some of the older guys, whether offensively or defensively, that are currently on the team that look to take the reins and making sure that the young recruits have fun on this visit?
Well, I think that, like as I said earlier, I think some of those veteran guys on the team are going to be looked at, guys who have connection with certain recruits. I know, for example, a guy, Jace McClellan, who's a 4-star running back who's currently committed to Oklahoma. I know that it's going to be possibly hard for Alabama to possibly pull him into their 2020 recruiting class, as they are currently recruiting 4-star running back Jahmyr Gibbs and 5-star running back Zachary Evans. But I know that his cousin is currently Alabama's cornerback Jeffrey Carter. So things like that, I think, are really going to play a role. Guys who have ties to specific areas that people are currently visiting, I think those particular players are going to play a role as far as Alabama hosting those guys this weekend.
He's Justin Smith, ladies and gentlemen, the lead scouting and recruiting analyst for Touchdown Alabama magazine, being on here each and every time we have him on In My Own Words, the podcast, giving his expertise on the ground in recruiting. I know that, Justin, you got a lot of things to get to on today, but any final thoughts, any final remarks on your end?
Nothing much.
Well, that's been Justin Smith here. Be sure to always check his show out, The Process, every Monday and Wednesday on YouTube, as he does an unbelievable job charting recruits, whether these guys are top targets or guys that are high on Bama's board or players that are high on Bama. Justin has his ears to the grind in terms of recruiting, in terms of finding out the next wave of talent coming to the Crimson Tide. Justin, thanks so much for being part of the show today.
Thank you so much, Steven.
What's up, college football fans? You can catch the hottest show on the streets, that being In My Own Words, the podcast, every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Subscribe to Touchdown Alabama magazine for the best in Tide football.